All right there, guys. How's it going? Hope you're all doing good. We said we'd do another live stream today, didn't we? We didn't think we'd have anything like this to talk about, in all fairness.
There's plenty to talk about. It's alive and kicking, so it's good to have something to talk about.
Yeah, 100%, mate. I mean, so in this show, we're going to be talking about, obviously, the Isak stuff that's broken. I have, obviously, done a couple of videos on that already. Well, one video. We'll talk about the Luis Diaz stuff, Darwin Nunez, Ekatike, and probably touch on the transfer sheet as well in this video. And I'm also going to start off with showing you the tactic board that I said I was going to do last night, and I couldn't find the magnets. So we're going to do all that. So yeah, make sure you're liking the video, guys. Put some comments in and sharing it with your friends. And also, we are in partnership with Number 19 Apparel Co., which is going along the bottom now. They provide us with the prizes for our memberships on the channel. So if you want to give them a little look, guys, you can have a look. And if you do end up winning the draw, which we do once every month, you would get one of them tees. So we've had a couple of winners already. We've had Gavin and Scott. So yeah. So before we get going then, mate, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. I've just literally come in the door, hence the jacket. So, but yeah, just living life, living the dream until I'm put under the knife for the back, and that's it. trying to forget about it. Hey Ed, how are you?
Ed, mate. I hope you're doing well, mate. Not seen you around for a bit, but yeah. Hope you're doing well, pal. So then I guess we spoke about it last night, so I'll just show you right quick what I was on about. So last night I was talking about how I think it might change with Liverpool, with the whole the formations and stuff like that. So this is what I've got for this season, basically, in the attack. You can't really see it properly, can you? So
no, that's fine.
That's the back line at the back. The three, so you'd have, and then Trent would come into the middle with Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, McAllister, and then you'd have your front three there down the bottom. Now, what I think we're going to see this year, and we kind of saw it a little bit towards the back end of last year, is something a little bit like this. So you'd have the two centre backs, you'd have Gravenberch dropping in the middle between them. Szoboszlai or McAllister would play this role. Wirtz, I think, is going to play somewhere around here, like as a number 10. Got it wrong way, around there. You'd have the striker, obviously, ahead, the two wingers cutting in. And then the big difference for me is you wouldn't have the fullbacks like cutting in, like Trent was doing last year. They're going to be very much right up against the byline to put the ball in the back of the net. So it would be like we'd have three defenders, more or less, and then the rest of them would just be building up. So we'd be quite heavy attacking forward going forward. So
do you think that's going to work for Salah? Do you think that's going to provide him more goals? Do you think he's going to have a better season as a result of that? Do you think?
I personally think we might see a bit more of what Salah were doing last year, which is providing goals. Especially, obviously, we'll get into the Isak stuff later on. But if you're going to go out there and spend all that money on a striker like him, you probably want him to be the focal point of getting the goals and everything. So. Yeah, I could probably see Salah maybe turning into a bit more of an assister than anything else, but we'll have to see what happens. I'll try and come up with a way to show you that a bit better because the screen's a little bit small doing this. But if you like stuff like that, guys, let me know and I'll dive a bit more into it. Ed says that he's okay, guys. Hope we're all good. I'm good, mate. Being snow under at where no worries, man. No worries. It's nice to see you back on the channel, mate. So then, Sean, should we start off with Liverpool obviously rejecting a bid from Bayern Munich today? So, well, it might not have happened today. It could have happened yesterday or whenever. But basically, David Ornstein reported that Liverpool rejected a bid from Bayern Munich for Luis Diaz. However, Diaz has made it very clear to Liverpool that he wants to leave. Now, the bid in question was at 58.6 million. And it was immediately rejected by Liverpool. Liverpool want upwards of 100 million euros for him, which I think is about 80 million pounds. Now, that's what David Ornstein says. James Pearce, your best friend, Sean, does add towards the end of the article saying that, Liverpool paid 50 million for him when they bought him. So they don't want just a little bit more than that. So if £80 million was to come in, it'd be hard to ignore. The fact that number's being floated about out there, I kind of think that that's the figure. Like,
yeah,
Liverpool want 80 million for him. If you offer 80 mil, he's yours.
Yeah, like they're kind of putting out there. I was watching David Lynch and his channel, and basically like this is an internal evaluation of the player, 100 million. And when you look at Bruno Fernandes and what the Saudis were looking to offer him, and he's 2 years older, they were willing to kind of pay in the regions of 100 million. So that's probably what Liverpool are basing their evaluation on Diaz.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I mean, like, there was that thing that came out as well, wasn't there, the other day, where people were saying that the wages that is being rumored to be on are not correct. Like, people were saying he was on like 70 grand or something, but he's on around about 150, which again, 70, 150, like, it's quite a big deal for for us. But for a footballer, it's it's a magnitude different in it. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know, mate. Like, what do you think about it? Like, would you want more than that, or would you want anything else?
I would be looking for more because of the position that he plays. Do you know what I mean? I don't necessarily think that he's worth more, but I just think that I think it. Oh, hello, I'm gone. Or Adam's gone. I personally think those who are on the chat that I don't want him to go. I think if he goes, it's going to be hard to kind of replace him. Or who do we place him with? Who's going to go? I mean, obviously we'll have Gapco, but who's going to be the backup for Gapco? That's what I would be concerned about. I think we need to think about the squad depth.
Yeah, Ed says here, if Diaz is sold, who is most likely the replacement now?
Yeah.
I don't know. We've been linked with a few young wingers. I think there was that. Is it Malik Fofana? There's Rio as well. Like I just mentioned there in the comment below. Even in Cranky JD, hope you're doing well, mate. Yeah, Rio. I reckon he could potentially get a bit more game time. There's rumors that he's getting a new contract. He only signed last year. But that's been doing the rounds over the past couple of days. Is that he's in line for a new deal? If he gets that, I think he's in squad me. Like, how old is he again? 16, 17?
16, yeah. I don't know whether that's kind of throwing
him in the deep end a little bit there, isn't it?
The deep end. It's an awful lot to take in as a 16-year-old, especially. But I mean, he's a very, very exciting player. I know, like, it was a pre-season, but he certainly showed he's well capable. But yeah, we'll wait and see.
Yeah, make sure you're hitting that like button, guys, when you're joining and you're watching. Yeah, I don't know. There's not that many. There's not that many left. Well, to be
Evening, Carl.
Not many left-sided right-footed wingers that we could go and get that would be happy to sit behind a Gakpo or someone like that. Do you know what I mean? Like,
this is the thing. This is the thing. Evening, Jen. Yeah, you see, this is why I'm not too sure. Like, are we selling him because we're not extending his contract? Are we selling him? I mean, the player has basically said that he wants to leave, so I don't think we have a choice in the matter. And I think it's better to sell him if he wants to leave, and there's only 2 years in his contract, and we're not willing to extend that. I don't know. Are we looking to sell him so that we can fund some other signings or to recoup the money that we've already spent? I don't know.
I reckon it's to fund something else, me. And you got to think as well, he's like 28 now as well, so he's coming towards the back end of his prime, especially as a winger. Yeah. So you need to get the money in while you can. Let's catch up on some of these comments. Ed says obviously too early. Rio in the next couple of years hopefully will be a starter. Yeah, I kind of agree with that, in all fairness. Especially with Gakpo as well, getting a bit older. Bond with a good one here. Actually, if you're good enough, you're old enough. Like, and I've always said something similar where if anyone is, when I hate it when people come back from injury me and they're sat on the bench and then they don't play for long and they come on for like 5 minutes and it's like, oh, they're giving some game time, whatever. I always kind of think like that if you're fit enough to be on the bench, then you need to be fit enough to play the match. So that's kind of the same in time with that, really. Evening, Jen. Evening, Carl. All right, JT. Is that Jared? Is that how you say your name, mate?
Jared Foster. Well, thanks for subscribing, Jared.
All right, mate. Hope you're doing well. Ed reckons it's to fund something, which probably is, to be fair. Jen says that any player that wants out can. No one is bigger than the club. 100% agree with that. And massive thank you to Red Phantom here with the super chat. According to Craig, hope confidence is fading on the Ekitike deal, which could suggest we've gone for him because they won't sell Isak. Yeah, I mean, that's tied into the whole Isak thing we're going to discuss after this this Diaz stuff. I mean, yeah, I mean, that's supposed to be the ultimatum that everyone's talking about right now. Jared would love us to sign Gordon, but the money, he's just signed a new contract, mate, last year, didn't he? So you'll be looking at about 100 million for him, if not more, something ridiculous like that. You got any more thoughts on Diaz, mate, or should we just go straight into the Isak thing?
The Gordon thing, I think there's probably cheaper options out there, so I don't think that's a no-brainer, to be honest with you. I don't think we'll be going for him. Yeah, the Diaz thing, if we can get more than the evaluation, then I'd be happy. If it funds, new players coming in, then I'm happy with that. Okay.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with that, mate. Yeah, I agree. Right then, I think we'll probably just dive straight into the I tell you what, we'll keep it going a bit longer because there's another one which is like the not Isak stuff, it's Nunez. So a tweet's come out today from Fabrizio Romano, a little short one for you, Shauno. The Saudi Pro League top clubs have made initial approach to sign Nunez. He's been waiting for 1 month now for Napoli to make a move. And Napoli have actually gone and signed a different striker called, is it Luca? And apparently, according to Fabrizio Romano, Napoli was the destination where Darwin Nunez wanted to go. Saudi clubs are prepared to offer him a deal again because they were close to signing him in January. But with Napoli signing a different striker, do you actually think that that's off the cards now for him? I tend to think it is.
Yeah, I think Napoli are out of the race. I think there was also talk about Atletico Madrid. That seems to die to death. David Lynch thinks there was a Saudi interest in January. I mean, they're going by that Al Hilal. So I think Liverpool are looking for 60 million plus for him, which I mean, I don't know whether we are a little bit not deluded, but we'd be very lucky to probably get that for him, I think.
Me too.
I don't mean to be rude to I don't mean to be rude to Darwin, but it hasn't worked out as much as he would like to have and as much as we would have liked for him. And so we need to kind of look to get as much money as possible to possibly fund or help fund bringing in 2 strikers.
Yeah, I agree, mate, with that. I think if you were to get the 80 for Diaz and then you were to get 60 for Nunez, pretty much pays for Isak, in all fairness. Bond says here he thinks Liverpool is fed up with the Diaz camp trying to get him to go to Barcelona for the last 18 months. Probably a lot of truth in that, mate.
Yeah.
And then he also says Napoli have spent a 6 million loan deal for the striker, so Nunez could still happen. All right. I think there's an obligation, though, in there for like 26 million as well. So I don't know, mate. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, you are right. It was a loan deal. So we'll have to see if Napoli's off the table now for him regarding all of that. So let's dive into this big one then, shall we, Shauno? We've done the Nunez stuff now. Probably won't be a long stream tonight, guys. I've got to jump off and go get something done a bit later on. So we'll get into this Isak stuff now. What's Ed said here? Ed has said that Sky Sports reported that we're going to rival Newcastle for Ekitike now, that Newcastle won't sell Isak. Ornstein hasn't tweeted that, and Sky Sports ain't no Ornstein. What do you guys make of this? We'll get into it now, mate. We're going to get into it. So I think I've covered some of this already in the video that I've put out a little bit earlier on, guys, but let's just, so we're all on the same page now. So I think Romano was the first one that mentioned it in a video earlier on today. Because I remember watching that video, it popped up in I think the title was something like Isak a bomb or something, and I just thought, oh, I hate it when people call them bombs and bomber and shit. It's just a load of shit. So I started watching it, and I was just like, all right, okay. Because that's kind of like what I was saying last night. I was saying when this Ekitike stuff came out that I won't be surprised if Liverpool made the move now for Isak. And then literally not even 24 hours later, lo and behold, it's it's occurred.
AKM lads, AKM lads and ladies. I mean, it's not just like you know, it's true. Adam knows more.
So I'll read the Athletic article from David Ornstein. So he basically says that Liverpool have made an approach to sign Isak from Newcastle. There's been no formal offer as of yet, as they're aware that Newcastle don't want to sell him. However, they have told Newcastle that they would be interested to do a deal in the region of £120 million. Liverpool's admiration for the 25-year-old is long-standing. They also have got Ekitike on the radar, but there's been no official contact from Liverpool to Eintracht Frankfurt. Newcastle are still working on trying to sign Ekitike. Touches on the whole Jota situation there and Florian Wirtz. Rejecting the Bayern Munich deal, so on and so forth. There's an interesting little snippet here as well that it says that Liverpool are without an established first choice up front. Chiesa is going to be considered as an option there, obviously with Nunez moving on, which again I think I mentioned yesterday that I can see Chiesa staying this season now with everything that's happened, unfortunately. So it says as well that Liverpool have always been aware of the difficulty of doing a deal to take Isak out of Newcastle and understand they have to sort Nunez out with a move elsewhere to cover some of the cost. Isak is obviously proven Premier League player, tactically flexible, would fit into the slot system, so on and so forth. And then I'm just trying to find, this is the part here from the Newcastle correspondent, the same guy who I spoke about last night. He says this, that just as an incoming deal for Ekitike is not close to being concluded, conclusion should not be yet raised to regarding Isak. This is a massive prospective offer, but if the bullish stance of Newcastle have opted publicly and privately all ears to believed, then it is still significantly short of what they want. So 120 million apparently still short of what they'd want for Isak. They've insisted for a long time now that he's not for sale at any price, but that has always felt reliant on what Isak his own stance is. The club have never expected him to push to leave, but should he be attracted by the prospect of moving to Liverpool, perhaps that changes now. An approach has been made. Now, I think that there, without saying it, is kind of, again, what I started the video off with earlier on today. The fact that Liverpool have made this move, Isak's told Liverpool he wants to move. There's no if or ands or buts about it. We say it about players that Liverpool want to buy elsewhere. We say it about players that want to leave Liverpool. If Liverpool or any club makes any move for any player, that player has told the club that he wants that move. So that is the end all be all with that. So that's that article. And then, well, in fact, I've talked a lot. What's your thoughts on it, Shauna?
Well, it's the same with Diaz. I mean, Bayern Munich would not be going for Diaz if Diaz hasn't expressed his interest to leave the club. So, yeah, I mean, it's like I see that Frankfurt rejected Newcastle's bid for TK. Or how do you pronounce that? Is that the correct pronunciation? Ekitike. So yeah, I mean that's going to be interesting. Newcastle have basically said he's not for sale. Isak says he wants to go. Ekitike, that bid has been rejected. So, you know, there's also rumors that we may jump in for Ekitike. So it's a bit of kind of tit for tat. You know, it's going to be a very, very interesting setup. I don't know really. Would Ekitike be a better move than Isak? Would he be the cheaper move? I don't know.
I I think it's a bit ballsy move from Liverpool to do that, though. Like, if
Yeah.
we're led to believe that basically, because there's some tweet out there as well. I can't remember if it was Romano or if it was. I think it was Romano. Let me just have a quick look because I don't want to misquote here. Yeah. So basically, Fabrizio Romano said that Liverpool have made a club-to-club approach with Newcastle to discuss a record bid for Isak. And then he says, if Isak is not available, Liverpool will go for Ekitike. The decision is up to Newcastle as they never wanted to sell Isak and want to offer him a new deal. But I think that's a bit of a ballsy thing. So if you turn around to Newcastle or you maybe not even said it to Newcastle outright, you've just said it, on the sly or whatever, just been like, oh, well, yeah, we want Isak, yeah, but if you don't sell him, we'll take the lad that you want. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, for the first time, I think in a long time, I'm actually quite impressed with our approach. I mean, I know, guys, did you think I'd ever say that? I think it is very ballsy. It's certainly the opposite to Lafia Casado. It's not a case of, okay, we're going to shortchange them for Lafia and then offer 100 million for Casado, knowing full well he wants to go to Chelsea, and then reject Chelsea or reject us to go to Chelsea, and then us go for Lafia, and Lafia decides, no, I'm going to fucking Chelsea as well. But I think this is a really ballsy move. I think it's a great move. And it's really putting the shits under Newcastle, and I'm fucking loving it. It's great. It's brilliant. Brilliant.
I think it's doing it to a lot of other rival teams as well. Like, I think I was watching Lawrence McKenna's video earlier on today.
Good.
And he mentioned something along the lines of we're going to see rival fans turning around going, oh, you're just doing a City now. You're going to you're buying the title. And it's just like, hold on a minute, guys. Like, we don't spend money. Like, and do you know one thing as well that I always hate, right? I always hate when people go, yeah, well, you bought Van Dijk for like 75 million and you bought Alisson for 60 odd million. And it's like, yeah, because we sold Coutinho for like 100 and some stupid million. Like, if Coutinho had not been sold, we would not have bought them two players. Do you know what I mean? It's as simple as that.
Sorry, Muscusi with his. So anyway, I just pulled my pants back up and said sorry to the opposition. Wrong chat.
Let's catch up on some of these. Sorry, let's just catch up on some of these minutes. I think we're up to here. Cranky JD says maybe Diaz goes and Nunez ends up staying, covering for Gakpo and a new forward. Yeah, I don't know.
Altitude bro says bit late, guys. That's no bother.
Yeah. Jen, either we get Isak or Ekitike. It's happening. Yep. That's Sean. Share the stream, folks. Smash the like button. Exactly. Bon, he's heard that Edwards, Hughes, and Eddie Howe are the best mates and they work close. Yeah, they did. They all worked at
Bournemouth.
I think it goes further back than that. I think it's Portsmouth and Bournemouth.
Okay.
I think there was something to do with them there, wasn't there? So yeah, I think it goes back a fair distance. There's that. So yeah. JT, Diaz, Nunez, Elliott will all be leaving, at least I'd say. And yeah, and if you look at the valuations of what them players could all leave for, 80 million for Diaz, 40 million for Elliott, that's 120. You get 60 for Nunez, that's 180 million there.
Mm-hmm.
So
plus the fact that we can already afford, we can already pay or spend another 200 million on top of that.
Mm-hmm. Ed says exactly, Adam. Talks are further along than we're led to believe. Again, like I always have this thought in my head anyway, like whenever we hear something in the media, it's always like 48 hours, if not longer. That's old news. Do you know what I mean? Like when Romano puts that tweet out, they don't mean like he's literally just got off the phone, like, oh yeah, I've just literally walked out of a meeting now. I've washed my hands, been at the toilet, and I thought I'd give you a little text, Romano, and say, we're doing this. It's probably known for like 2 days. Do you know what I mean? Like, so stuff would have happened. It's happened in the past, like a long time ago. These things when we hear about it, it's like these things when players sign contracts and that. When it's like the stat there, like Liverpool put a picture up, and it's like signing deal. That picture's like 3 days old. Like, do you know what I mean? Miscusi, yeah. Mark 59, Newcastle can have Nunez in a deal for Isak. I don't think they'd take it.
I don't think, yeah, exactly. It's all well and good. You know, here's Isak with a bit of money there, or sorry, here's Nunez with a bit of money for Isak. Yeah,
I don't think they'd do it.
No.
Jen says exactly this is what I've been saying all along. No one goes in for a player that is not for sale, 100%. JT, watched the inside training early. Great to see lads smiling. Isak Verts Salah is going to be quite something, 100%, mate. Yeah, and I watched a little bit of it. I've seen some clips of Verts, nice little touches and stuff like that. I can't wait to see him play. I literally can't wait to see him play. There's another article here, which I haven't actually gone through yet. It is a little bit of a lengthy one, and I'm not going to read the whole thing because we'd be here for absolutely ages. But it's basically titled... it's written by the Athletic UK staff, so it's written by a fair few of them, and it's titled Newcastle's Alexander Isak dilemma. Does it make sense to sell him as they try to sign Hugo Ekitike? So I'll read these first few bits out here. Newcastle have a conundrum on their hand. The Athletic have reported that they were working on a deal to sign Hugo Ekitike. The insistence was that they wanted to have him play alongside Isak as options for next season. On Tuesday, the Athletic reported that Liverpool have made an approach for Isak. While there's been no formal bid, Liverpool have said that they'd do a fee in the region of 120 million. Amid this all, Isak's preference is unknown. If he is looking to leave, then having a player in your squad who wants out is never a good idea. If the 25-year-old is happy to stay at the club, he's called home for the past 3 years, that would alleviate pressure on the club to sell him. But all of this leaves Newcastle with a dilemma. Do they try to keep Isak and Ekitike too, fulfilling their original plan? Do they hang on to Isak, knowing that there is a risk other clubs, including Liverpool, could move to sign Ekitike ahead of them? Or do they sell Isak in order to try and push through the Ekitike transfer and fund any other business that they want to do this summer? Now, there's a few paragraphs here. The first one's like on the pitch, comparing the two players financially. I think this one may be worth going over a little bit. It says, as detailed earlier this week, any financial problems for Newcastle under their current ownership are rule-based rather than cash-based. It's worth, therefore, assessing what the sale of Isak might do for them for PSR. So he arrived in Newcastle 3 years ago and still has 3 years left to run in his 6-year deal. So his current book value on Newcastle stands at 34 million. So that's his book value to them right now. So selling him for 120 or more would bank Newcastle a huge amount of profit, even while not all the fee would flow their way, because Sociedad are owed 10% of any profit that Newcastle make. So if he was sold to Liverpool for 120, Newcastle have to give about 6 million to Sociedad, and then they would still be left with about 80 million pound in profit based on him still being valued at 34 million. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense.
Right.
I nearly went cross-eyed there, but yeah, no, it makes perfect sense. Archis, well done. Congrats. Thanks for coming back. What do you think?
I hope you're doing well, mate. I hope you're doing well. Imran as well said, missed the show. Isak, 120 odds. Keep moving. He's on his way, boys. I can see Diaz and Nunez being sold and LFC getting close to 120. Isak is coming, I have a feeling. Otherwise, Liverpool would not approach a player if the player's agent didn't indicate he wants to move. Exactly, mate. We've been saying that on here. So that makes sense, yeah?
Makes perfect sense.
Right. So from a PSR perspective, it would provide a huge boost to them with sales booked immediately while purchases are spread over the length of a player's contract. The impact on the club's finances would be stark. So basically, when you sell a player, that money hits your books straight away. When you buy a player, whatever you pay for the player is spread out over the length of his contract. So, yeah. Then it says here, say they follow up the signing of Isak by getting Ekitike on a 5-year deal for 75 million. He would cost them about 16.4 million a year. So they would still, after signing Ekitike this year, have about 63.4 million still to play with. Yeah. I'll go down a little bit here as well, just so we've got it all thing. So it says you can cut into any number hypothetically in many ways, but say Newcastle wanted to go out and buy 255 million players and pay them both 200 grand a week on 5 years deals. After including extra fees, employment costs, each would cost them about 24.5 million a year, so basically £49 million combined. So even after the sale of Isak, signing Ekitike and the arrival of 2 other players, the difference would be they'd still have £25 million. So the sale of Isak would help Newcastle PSR for a long, long time to come. And they could sign 3 good players.
That's really what's putting them in a dilemma, because they can't hold on to Isak and bring in Ekitike. Would I be right in saying that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Potentially right now, yeah. Make sure you're hitting that like button, guys, while I go through this article. So then it says here, the perception of selling Isak. Newcastle clearly love Ekitike. They've made an attempt to sign him twice now, but if the price of that deal includes selling Isak to Liverpool, any goodwill with the fans would evaporate. You're throwing Ekitike into a difficult situation in a new league and asking him to instantly reproduce Isak's production. Ekitike may well be a success, but he's not proven, whereas Isak is. He's got 54 goals since joining Newcastle, and he's Newcastle's best forward since Alan Shearer. Figures at Newcastle are still insistent that Isak is not for sale and that their plan is for Isak to play alongside him in the future. And there are no indications that a sale needs to be, counterbalanced or that they will even enter negotiations with Liverpool. They still hope that he will sign the new deal. Unless Isak agitates for the move, it's not going to happen. The player will have to push for the move.
Do you think he will?
I think he might already has, to be fair, for Liverpool to even made the approach. Like, there's been something, hasn't there? Do you know what I mean? Minty here says Newcastle might be tempted to deal if 100 million plus Elliott. Not a bad shout, mate. Not a bad shout. And then next up is like the big one, and it's the last paragraph, guys. Everyone talks about Isak's injuries. We've been through that on here about a month ago now, might have been longer ago. And before we did it, at the point I was even myself being like, I don't want Isak, he's too injury prone. But when we actually looked into it, it ain't that bad. It's not that bad compared to everything else, is it? In all fairness. So let's have a quick look at this. So availability wise, it says Isak has only had 1 long-term injury in his entire career, but has had to deal with niggly issues across the past few seasons. There's a graph here, obviously, which I can't show you because it's on a paywall. But he's missed 18 matches for club and country during the 22-23 season due to a thigh injury. He's dealt with 3 groin injuries across the last 2 seasons, a broken toe and a hamstring injury last year. In contrast, Ekitike has only had 1 major injury, a hamstring injury that sidelined him for 69 days and forced him to miss 14 matches. The cavity with the 23-year-old is that he's playing loaded being lower than Isak's, blah, blah, blah. And that's basically it. So it says here, in 21-22, he missed 28 days. In 22-23, he missed 107 days. This is Isak, by the way. 23-24, he missed 56. And last year, he missed 43. So these are days missed. So this includes training sessions, country matches,
it sounds a lot worse.
So it's a lot more than just the Prem or Carabao or whatever. I'm not so downhearted on Isak's injury record now. Now you watch, like, touch wood, Adam, before you say this, mate. You watch, we'll sign him for stupid amount of money and he'll get crocked. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, we've just got that type of luck with strikers lately. Do you know? So I'm not bothered about his injury record now. I'm just not. I'd take the gamble. I think he probably is the best striker in the Premier League, bar Erling Haaland. But then again, Haaland had a bit of a down year last year. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he did.
So maybe Isak is the best striker in the Prem. I know that Arsenal have just signed that Gyökeres, or they're about to sign him, whatever. I never rated him. People are saying like, "Oh, look at how many goals he's scored," and it's like, yeah, 20 of them last year were penalties. Like, do you know what I mean? So I don't know. After all that, mate, have you got any thoughts or anything like that?
It's going to be very interesting how it plans out. I'm just going to sit back and just look at it, analyze it. At the end of this window, I'm just going to overlook things and see, where we're at as a team. I mean, if we get Isak, brilliant. Ekitike, I think that's going to really put the shits under Newcastle, and they're going to have to offload Isak, both from a financial point of view and both from the fact that the player wants to leave. So I think they're stuck between a rock and a hard place. But I've no problem with Isak in terms of his injuries and whatnot. We'll see how he gets on with us. We'll support him when he puts on I'm being a bit optimistic. If he puts on a Liverpool jersey, we'll be fully supportive of him. That's a good poll we've got going up there. Who does Liverpool sign, Isak or Ekitike? So I'm going for Isak. But
Bond says here, we don't want it running the length of the window for Isak.
Yes, correct.
I agree. I do agree, but I can see it taking as long as Wirtz. Like, if I'm being totally honest right now, I don't think we get him before the first game of the season.
Really?
Unless I could be completely and utterly wrong right now.
I hope you are.
There's a part of me right now, right, that's thinking we might see tomorrow that Liverpool have put a bid in. It wouldn't surprise me right now, but just because we've put a bid in doesn't mean... you know what? This is how I see it playing out. I'm thinking now as I'm talking. I can see Liverpool putting a bid in for Isak, rejected straight away, done. You'll then see Liverpool put a bid in for Ekitike, right? And then I don't know why. I don't know what will go on, but you might just turn around and see Liverpool and Newcastle will come to terms with something for Isak, because I do think it's probably going to take the player to do something. I don't mean like publicly come out and say I want to leave or whatever, everything like that. But I do think he's probably going to have to go to Newcastle and say, I want the move. I want to go, blah, 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 whatever. When we've just looked at them financials there, it makes sense for them to do it for the long-term health of the club.
Are they gambling a little bit themselves, do you think? Are they trying to play a little bit of poker?
I think they're under no like pressure to sell him. So I think they want to try and milk him. I mean, look at us. Like, if someone came in for more salary in his prime and they were offering like 150 mil, we'd be like, no, 180, 190. Do you know what I mean? It'd be something like that. Like, he's their marquee signing.
I was going to say we're doing that with Nunez, but like I couldn't keep a straight face.
Yeah. So I don't know. I personally believe that you might see some games like that. And I also kind of think as well, you might see... I would not be surprised if Liverpool put a bid in tomorrow. That's what I'm just going to put out there.
Archit says Ekitike never intrigues me, to be honest.
I think he's just a little bit younger version of Isak. I can't turn around and say he's just as good because he's not played the Prem. But I think he can get to a similar level. I think they play very, very similar.
Which why with some people it doesn't make sense to bring him in when they're kind of similar players.
Exactly. That's why I don't think when all this stuff's been coming out, when they've been saying, "Oh, you know, we're gonna get them to play together," don't make sense because they set the same positions, everything like that. Do you know what I mean? And you don't go and spend 80 odd million to put a player on the bench. We found that out last year with Nunez, and that's why he's been sold this season. Do you know what I mean? Imran says, good thing about Isak, he's a Premier League proven and has the experience to play in a Premier League. It just makes sense for Liverpool to go for him. Ekitike could take time.
Yeah.
Excuse are we getting any AKM t-shirts or hoodies in the near future? If you want, I think there's some now in there.
There's some now, but like we can't be promoting that when we are in partnership with Number 19 Apparel Co. So we might even say, well, listen, guys, do you fancy maybe designing a few AKMLFC stuff with us? You know, because I was thinking we need to maybe do something with Adam because he has a little catchphrase that I don't know whether people have caught up on. But I think we should use that catchphrase, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Where I was up to
Jen.
Imran again. Sorry, Jen. I didn't read yours out. Sorry, Jen. If we don't sign Isak, then we go for Ekitike. So win-win either way. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Like if we don't get Isak and we sign Ekitike, I will feel like, oh, do you know what I mean? But as I've just said, I don't think Ekitike is that bad as a fallback, shall we say. Imran, I think once that an official bid goes in, which I think would exceed over 120 plus bonuses and would get accepted in that first bid, he could travel with the team for pre-season. The money is there. I don't know, man. Like, they don't play for 10 days now, do they? They probably won't travel for another 7 or something like that. They might not travel because they're going to have to acclimatise to where they're going. So maybe they travel in 5 days' time, acclimatise, do a few fan events, blah, 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 then play the game, whatever.
Well, can you imagine the shirt sales going up with Isak, possibly Isak number 9 jersey? That'd be flying out the door. That would. So I don't know. I mean, I hope that we get the business done as quickly as possible because I think the pre-season is always a good time to kind of gel well as a team. I don't like to see players coming in late in the window. I think it's really important to do your business and do your business quickly. Obviously, we had the tragedy of a couple of weeks ago, which I think put everything on halt, and now, we now have got to do some business and get it done and fucking retain that title. If not for ourselves, but for Diego.
Yeah.
Let's fucking do it, lads.
Imran says again, no team will pay over 120 and no team would reject that right now in this market. It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Well, again, it's one of those as well. Like you say, Newcastle are running. If they keep Isak now and he doesn't sign a new deal, he'll be cheaper next year. So it's one of them. Miss Guzzi says he loves it. I mean,
I think that's the idea I had for the t-shirt.
Probably, yeah. Okay. As I say, I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I want nothing to back this up, guys. It's just a feeling I've got that I could probably see Liverpool putting a bid in tomorrow, soon. I'm gonna stick with tomorrow because I've already said it.
AKM.
If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I do think that the news we've heard today is probably a couple of days old. So obviously the next step is to make it official, put the bid in.
I'm going to counter that.
And just see what happens. But Bond says 26th, the AC Milan match. What time will it be in the UK with it being played in Asia? No idea, mate. Probably early hours of the morning.
What I reckon is we might put in a bid for Ekitike tomorrow and then put in a bid for Isak on Monday. SKB, lads. SKB.
I think Liverpool travel next week though to wherever they're going, probably. So Let's see. Mark 59 says they have to show the fans that they are staying strong and he's not for sale. His agent definitely has advised Liverpool to put an offer in. Yeah, I agree.
There's not much you can do, Mark, if a player has expressed his interest to leave the club to go to another club. Do you risk having someone, that does not want to play for the club in the squad? I mean, can you honestly see him giving full commitment, to that team? And the answer to that is definitely not. So I think he'll push for that deal.
There's a little statement here, actually. I wonder what you think of this. Jacob Whitehead has said, can you put a price on Alexander Isak? You've probably got Haaland and Mbappe as the top strikers, and then after that, it's probably Isak in the world.
Well, I mean, we're going to be up against it this season. I mean, fucking United. Oh, Jesus. I mean, they're going for Jamie Vardy. So, But look, I mean, it makes sense for us to go for Isak, I think. I think Ekitike, as good as he is, it might be a gamble because he's not been proven in the Premier League.
Yeah. Minty says, I think Isak will cost around 90 mil. Did I say Ekitike or Isak then? I think Ekitike will cost around 90 mil. If Isak is bought for 140, would there be backlash from Newcastle fans? Probably, mate. Probably.
Yeah, but
they'll just spin it and say that they'll spin it and say he wanted to move and put all the blame on him. Probably.
That's what all clubs do. So,
yeah, exactly.
I think they'll get over it fairly quickly. And plus, I mean, they'll probably turn on Isak. They'll probably be like, "I will fuck him if he wants to go elsewhere." They're probably saying that already.
All right, okay. So this Ornstein's just put a tweet out. I wonder if this could impact the whole PSR thing. Apparently, Leeds United have reached an agreement with Newcastle to sign Sean Longstaff. So they're selling a player now, a Newcastle. So again, that will put them a little bit not in the lane of wanting to sell. Mark 59 says 160 mil could easily get that. Would Liverpool pay that? Could easily get to that. Would Liverpool pay that much? I think if as I said earlier, I think if they sell Diaz for 80, Nunez for 60, and then Elliott for 40, boom, you've got about 180 million there. So yeah, probably.
Is that why you think that it could drag out a bit because we have to sell those players first?
I'm kind of hoping I'm hoping we don't do that because we've had that situation before with, again, going back a few years, Daniel Marlin, where Klopp wanted him, but he had to sell Shaqiri and Origi first. Sold Shaqiri and Origi, but by the time they'd done that, Marlin had gone to Dortmund. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Here's a question for you, and maybe the rest of the guys might want to answer this question. Do you think we have learned from past mistakes in terms of how we've done business with this setup, this current setup? Do you think we're doing so? Okay, the first part of this question is: do you think that we're doing business differently than what we've done before? And do you think it may be as a result of the mistakes that we've made in the past with kind of, selling players in order to get a player and then that player not being available? Is that a good question or a shit one? Or
no, I think it's good, but I think we can't really judge it until.
No, well, I said so far.
If judging it now, judging what we've done now, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But if we get to the end of this window and we end up, shipping out a load of players that we don't want to ship out and stuff like that, then no, we'll have to just wait and see.
Mm-hmm.
Bond says Newcastle was sold for 105, and now we're talking about 150 million for one player from Newcastle. See, that's how quick football changes, mate. Minty, Yes, but let's be honest, we haven't spent much at all over the past 3 years or so.
That's true as well.
True, mate. True.
But I mean,
I'm just gonna put this out there and get ahead of this time next year. If Liverpool sign Alexander Isak this summer, we will be signing nobody next year. Absolutely nobody.
But I mean, the important thing, and my response to that is, if we get the business done this season, there won't be any need. Do you know what I mean? Let's look
Agreed.
after the contracts. Let's be a little bit wiser with the contracts. That would be where I would like to focus on. We don't have to spunk cash up against the wall just for the sake of it, just because it's a transfer window. You don't necessarily go into a shop with the intention of buying everything. You don't necessarily need to buy everything. So if we do the business this summer, which I'd love us to do, and have a good squad depth to compete at all levels, compete in all competitions, then I'm fucking happy. I'm happy if we don't spend anything next summer.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
We'll be clipping that out and playing that back next year when
you can play that. You can play that. You can do a remix. You can release that and put it on iTunes if you want.
Ed says here, yes, all this setup are just more efficient. After we won the title in 2020, our summer as champions was massively underwhelming. It was, mate.
Yeah,
it was.
absolutely.
I agree with that.
Absolutely. When you think of that, Ed, like we were forced to play midfielders in the centre back position. There's no way that Liverpool should have been in that situation. So we were very much let down. But let's put that in the past and hope for better things this summer, which I think we're getting at the moment.
Yeah. I'm trying to. Oh, I've messed this up now.
No, you haven't. We're doing.
I was just going to try and find the poll, but I can't find it now to end it to see what we're on.
I'll see. I'll have it here. So with only 18 votes, who does Liverpool sign? 67% have gone for Isak. 33% have gone for Hugo Ekitike.
That's surprising.
Yeah.
That is surprising. I'd like to know people's reasons behind that.
Give us the reasons.
Minty says we've been told past 3 years the next window is going to be special. It never happened, but this window is the big one. We've been told by Van Dijk and that, weren't we? When they signed the deals, we're going to have a big window, and it's turned out to be true. Miss Scoozy just heard Everton have a new pre-match song called "You'll Never Boo Alone" for the new ground.
It looks like it looks like a Tesco's 24-hour shop. That's what it looks like.
Right then, mate. I said I kind of do a bit of a short one today, guys. So I guess to end the show, Shauna, question: does Isak sign for Liverpool? You can't be sat on the fence.
No, I think you will. I think we'll force it to happen. I think Isak wants to leave. He's already said that. Newcastle have said that he's not for sale. I think we will force their hand by maybe putting in a bid for Ekitike. I don't think Liverpool are going to fuck about. If we don't get Isak, we're going to go for Ekitike. That's going to force Newcastle's hand, and I think it's great business. I think we've been very smart, very smart. So, that's my take on it. I don't know what your take is on it. I don't know what everyone else's take on it is, but that's where I see it.
I'm going to say yeah as well. I'm going to say yeah because just based on the fact that Liverpool have made this public, so they've done that because the players obviously told him he wants to move. So I think he'll push it.
Yeah,
I think it's going to take him to push it. But I think it happens. But I don't. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if Liverpool put a bid in tomorrow or whatever. It comes out that they've put a bid in tomorrow. But
well, do you want to write this down? Because you said that you reckon they're going to put in a bid for Isak tomorrow. What I reckon is going to happen tomorrow is we're going to put in a bid for Ekitike, and on Monday, disappeared again, or Adams disappeared again. I reckon we put in a bid for Ekitike tomorrow, and we put in a bid for Isak on Monday. That's what I reckon is going to happen.
Yeah. I did catch that, mate. Sorry.
So
I did catch it. I caught it. I don't know what happened. My screen just went dead.
I thought you were getting a pen, and I thought, why is he turning off the screen?
No.
Yeah, Ed, I did say that Frankfurt rejected Newcastle's offer today.
Mark says his concern is that Isak has to push it, and I think he will. I think he'll have to push it. But
who would turn down Liverpool, for fuck's sake?
Right now as well, yeah, I know. Do you know what I mean? Hamza says, nice to see you, Hamza. He reckons that Liverpool will sign Isak. Yeah, I reckon so too, mate. Nice to see you, pal.
Yeah. Can I put a question?
No, go on, mate. Go on, go.
We have time for it. So, what about Kanate? Like his sources are saying that he's not running down the contract, that he's open to working on a better contract with Liverpool. It's a difficult one, isn't it? I thought that would stump you.
All right, I'm not going to sit on the fence. I reckon. You know what? I reckon Kanate stays, and I think he runs down his contract.
I reckon the same. I was listening to David Lynch there today. I know what you're thinking. Jesus, Sean is actually listening to other people. It's the new me, guys. But I think he made a good point. I think it would be wise for us to hold on to Kanate this season, and at the risk of us losing them on the free. I think it's really, really important. I think we're thinning in that position of the pitch, thinning worse than my hairline. I can't see us spending big up front and then having to go and then bring in 2 centre backs. I just can't see that happening.
Yeah,
that's all right, Hamza. We're all good.
Yeah, good mate. Good mate. It's good to see you back, mate, as well. Not seen you around for a fair bit, but yeah, it's good to see you back, pal. I know everyone's got busy lives and everything like that, so it's nice for you to see you, mate. JT reckons that we cash in now. Looks like his mind's made up. I think he only wants to go to Madrid, though. He only wants Madrid. So I think we spoke about this last night. Madrid want to pay 25. Liverpool want 50. It is what it is. I don't know. I think unless Liverpool reduce the asking price, I don't think he goes this summer. I just don't. No, yeah, I get it, mate. Yeah, I understand, pal. Don't worry about it, mate. Everyone's been in the same boat with that.
Yeah.
I actually got a message from someone today. I won't name them, and they've actually said the same, that they've not been around because of this. So yeah. Right, guys. I think we'll bring this to an end right now. Madrid would prefer 3 next season, 100%. If we buy 7 or 8 players, do you think that is too much? Yeah, probably for 1 season, I do. Yeah, maybe.
I'd be very happy if they did, Minty, but
but yeah. Right then, guys, thanks for watching. We'll might be back tomorrow. Let's see what happens. See if there's anything new worth talking about. I might pop back on again for another short one. Thank you again to Red Phantom for the super chat. Again, guys, we're in partnership with Number 19 Apparel Co. It's going across the bottom right now. Make sure you're hitting that like button, guys. And if you want a chance of becoming a member and winning one of these t-shirts, make sure you hit the join button down below. But other than that, guys, thanks for watching, and we may be back tomorrow. So we will see you in the next one. No, it's not that. I will catch you in the next one. See you then, guys.